What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Action Sofa. We are still in Kirby's Adventure, and we've taken a very long break, so I'm probably gonna require a minute to warm up again. Oh, this is full-on water level. I thought the sunny beach stage was the water level, but no, it was mistaken.
So we here at the Action Sofa do not approve of water levels.
What's this guy again? No, we do not.
This is the guy who throws his young at you, right?
Yeah, little tiny baby versions of himself. Wait a minute. How do I... Oh, okay.
You're gonna need to, like...
Oh!
You can always just not fight this guy.
Yeah, screw this guy.
Hey, where you
See you
going?
later.
Oh.
See you later, turtle. Just go. No, okay.
No.
It was worth a shot.
It was worth a shot. Just try to... That was one of my favorite things about a lot of the Mario games, was that every now and again you could just get above or below the level.
Yeah. Yeah, they were not afraid to let you go outside of the game.
Yeah, even up to like Mario 64. Mario 64 had some crazy like extra chunks of level that you could get to if you didn't mind sort of glitching out the game a little bit and using some exploits. You get to all these little nooks and crannies. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, I'm finding secrets. That's one thing that, if I'm gonna have an old man moment for a sec, it's one thing that a lot of games these days don't really do as well.
Secrets?
Well, it's just like everything's so polished that they don't leave cheat codes in. They don't they don't leave secret areas up. They correct a lot of the exploits and bugs and everything like that, which is great. But a lot of the stuff makes just really awesome Easter eggs that are fun to find. And it's just a shame when, games get really polished to the point where you don't get to find anything new or anything that you're not supposed to find. It feels like a very contrived sort of experience, whereas before if you found something that was a little bit glitched, you felt like you were discovering something as opposed to just being led down this path.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, that's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I loved finding Easter eggs. That was one of my favorite things. And I mean, Easter eggs are still, depending on the company, they're still very clever sometimes. Like the Borderlands series is phenomenal at Easter eggs. They have crazy hidden areas. Like, did you play Borderlands 2?
Yes, I did.
Did you find the Minecraft area?
No, I didn't.
There is an entire section. If you find a hidden mine, you go in and there are creepers inside, and that's what you fight. Are creepers, and then a giant boss creeper comes out. And there are like giant blocks that you can knock out with your weapons and your melee and stuff, and you can find like minerals and ore. It was a crazy Easter egg, and I thought it was done just phenomenally well.
I am gonna have to go back to Borderlands 2 and see if I can find that, because that sounds wicked awesome.
It was really, really cool.
Yeah, Borderlands, and that's, I like that they kind of did. I like that they added a lot of that stuff. Their writing is very clever, and their character design is very tongue in cheek, and everything they do is very good. But it's also all very intentional.
Yeah.
And so they're good at it, but it's also not. It's not really organic content. It's still very much a this is the experience that we intended you to have. Which I guess is fine, but if I'm gonna wax philosophical, I just really enjoy an emergent game experience, and maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that's just me, or maybe that's because I've done a lot of I've done and really identified with pen and paper RPGs, which are totally emergent experiences. But I really like being able to sort of choose the way that I interact with a game and the way that I play it, rather than having someone curate an experience for me.
Yeah, I totally understand that. That is, yeah, the freedom to do whatever you want whenever you want it is hard to do in video games. It's nigh impossible, to be quite honest.
Well, it's not about necessarily doing whatever you want. It's about rather than deciding ahead of time how I'm going to interact with. You just sliced that.
Did not know you could do
tomato.
that.
That's awesome.
Good to know.
That's a shame. But rather than having my experience created before I have it, have the experience created by the rules that are set up by the game. So that's what I love. That's the thing that I love about about games like Minecraft. The experience, what I get out of the game is not about what they've intentionally created a lot of stuff. Absolutely. But it's the rules that they've set up for the system, and all of the tools that they give you to do stuff within the game that makes the game for you. And then you get to decide how you're going to do that. And tons of people have just, on vanilla Minecraft, like forget about mods, just vanilla Minecraft, have created all of these games within the game to play. Mm-hmm. Whether it's building machines or one of my favorites is somebody came up with the idea of you just walk in a direction.
Yeah, that guy he's just trying to reach the end of a semi-infinite world.
Well, there's a guy who's doing that specifically, but I just mean the idea of literally just like you don't put down roots anywhere and you don't stay anywhere for too long. You maybe, you build yourself a temporary shelter at night so you don't get eaten by stuff. But you just literally pick a direction and go. And I really like the idea of that. And I've done that before, where I've just kind of been like, and then you see weird stuff. You see giant canyons. You see I remember coming across like just a forest fire that had started, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that's always bizarre.
And you just find stuff. And so they've created this whole world that you can explore, and you can decide how you're gonna interact with it. And I really like that. And now Minecraft is a special game, and I will be the first to sort of admit that it's not like other stuff. It does have a very different ethos and a very different structure than a lot of games. But still, I really love the sitting in a sandbox and not having an experience in mind necessarily, and just being allowed to explore the game for what it is. So, that being said, there are a lot of really wonderful, there are a lot of really wonderful, sort of highly curated experiences as well, which are very, very cool. I just like the immersion. You know what actually did that, and I'm just rambling now, but
I'm listening very intently.
You just go and say, you know what did that really, really well? Portal. Portal was a just super linear puzzle game with a very defined story and very defined boundaries, but the nature of the game itself meant that you could you could solve the puzzles any way that you wanted. And so, there were probably optimal ways to do it, but there were also ways, there were also any number of ways that you could do it, and you could kind of just decide on which way you wanted to do any given puzzle. And, to some degree there were some exploitive ways of doing it, and some were just standard. Okay, what's going on here?
Very clever. I think you need the hammer to break through the wall.
Ah, you need the hammer. Bunch of jerks. Yeah, well. Regardless, yeah. Portal. I like it.
Oh, it's phenomenal. I loved the first one, and I loved the sequel. The sequel was very good. The multiplayer was wonderful. I loved it.
Yeah. I don't think I ever played through the multiplayer all the way.
Really?
We should do that sometime.
We should do that sometime.
That was because I do remember that was fun. Where you're the two robots and you gotta.
Atlas and Peabody were wonderful characters.
Work together. All right.
Well, yeah, we could absolutely do Portal, because it's been long enough that I don't remember any of the solutions anymore.
For sure.
And I mean, people love watching Portal videos. If you ever watch a Portal video, the entire comment section is just, "Oh, I finished this in like 3 seconds. Why aren't you seeing the solution?" Because there is nothing more frustrating than watching someone else play a puzzle game that you've already beaten.
Maybe we could just solve the puzzles and then just edit in the solutions and pretend like we're apparently like, oh yeah, of course you do this.
We did it in one shot. The sad thing is, even if we do that now, people aren't going to believe we did it.
But how will they know, Kim? How will they know? They won't.
They won't.
And some people want to believe. Some people want to believe in magic, Kim. Why should we let those people down? Why should we let down the people who want to believe in magic?
That's a good question. Well, I guess that's what we'll do then. At some point, you will see a Portal 2 playthrough with Atlas and Peabody.
Do you believe in magic, folks?
I hope you do. You'll always have a friend wearing big red shoes if you believe in magic.
Kim's not having a stroke right now. That was from a McDonald's commercial. For those of you who are maybe a little bit young to remember that.
It didn't even occur to me that people wouldn't know that.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, dude. Not everyone is old like we are.
Yeah, ancient. I don't know what to do with that.
What are those?
These?
They look like dumplings with witch hats and brooms.
They're little witches. I did know they actually have a little story all of their own, and I actually did know it at one point, and it's actually kind of a funny story. That I am focusing way too hard, so you're gonna have to look it up.
I am gonna
on your magic phonular device.
Yeah, talk about magic.
Technology is basically magic.
Well, Arthur C. Clarke, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic.
Yep.
For those of you who are Arthur C. Clarke fans. For those of you who aren't Arthur C. Clarke fans...
You should be.
You should be. You may not even recognize that you're Arthur C. Clarke fans. You ever saw 2001: A Space Odyssey? That's an Arthur C. Clarke. If you like satellites, or use satellites at all, hint, you do. Arthur C. Clarke basically invented geostationary satellites. True story.
It's always nice when a sci-fi writer just basically goes, "Oh yeah, wait, no, I'm actually smart enough to figure this stuff out." Like the Futurama writers, where they actually came up with theorems on the show. Because a couple of them are actually physicists.
Well, the thing with people like Arthur C. Clarke and a lot of other sci-fi writers is that they're sci-fi writers. They're sci-fi writers later in their careers, but like, you know, originally they're just scientists. One of my absolute favorite sci-fi authors, Stephen Baxter. He's just a rocket scientist. Like, he's you know, like a aerospace engineer. And he has written some crazy far-out sci-fi. But he's also written some really, really serious hard science fiction about, like, you know, the near-future space program. or alternate history space program, and super nerdy but super cool and really, really, really accurate. As far as that sort of thing goes. I mean, you know, barring the fact that the stuff is fiction, you know, he actually did math. When was the last time you saw somebody who actually did math to write a story? When was the last time you did math to write a story? That's what I thought, you jerks.
I still love you, viewers. Okay, so I'm gonna steal one of them umbrellas for sure, if I can. Next time on the Action Sofa.